The practice of eating insects is called entomophagy. According to the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations, 2 billion people, that's 1 in 4 people, regularly eat insects today, though the figure is disputed. And people today in Western and Westernized societies often treat entomophagy with disgust and apprehension. But people have been eating insects for a long time. Archaeologists have found human coprolites, or poop fossils, from the end of the last ice age containing insect fragments. And human depictions of entomophagy can be found as early as the 8th century BCE, when locusts on sticks were served at royal banquets in what is now Iraq. Aristotle wrote that cicada nymphs were the pleasantest to eat before the integument or the exoskeleton burst open for the final molt. And even the Bible allows eating locusts, katydids, crickets, and grasshoppers. In 1885, British entomologist Vincent Holt tried to convince the Western world to start eating insects again, writing, "People will make themselves ill with indigestible and foul-feeding lobsters, but they look with horror upon pretty clean-feeding caterpillars." Holt described various insect dishes as refreshing, strengthening, delicate, nourishing, wholesome, and tasting like sugar cream or sweet almond paste, but he was ultimately unsuccessful in popularizing entomophagy in the modern West. But entomophagy is common today in the global South, where insects are regularly consumed as a sustainable and inexpensive source of protein. Crickets, for example, require 12 times less feed than cows to produce the same amount of food, all while producing fewer greenhouse gases and requiring much less land. And insects aren't necessarily a food of necessity either. Pick up a bottle of mezcal, and you might find agave worms, which are so prized that some mezcal producers employ security guards against poachers. Popular media, like the movie Snowpiercer, portray insect protein as unappetizing slimy blocks. But I wanted to see if I could make something that actually tasted good out of insects. I decided to follow this chocolate chip cricket cookie recipe from a company called 3 Cricketiers, which sells cricket-based snacks. And I enlisted my girlfriend's help by buying her an emote for Mercy on Overwatch 2. We got some cricket powder and whole roasted crickets from Entomo farms. We collected the ingredients, combined them, and ended up with a batter that seemed a little frothy. Although we were suspicious, we threw the batter on the baking sheet, placed a cricket on each dollop, and put the whole thing in the oven. When they came out, though, they actually looked and smelled really good. Right, cheers.
What do you think?
It's good.
Did you eat the cricket side? No, you didn't. You skipped the cricket side.
I know people say crickets are nutty. It is nutty. Very, very faint undertone of shrimp. The Goshure tribe of Utah, when they first tried shrimp, called them sea crickets. So people have been noting the similarity for a while. I really enjoyed the cookies, but my girlfriend was less enthusiastic about the experience.
I wouldn't be able to say this has insects in it or whatever upon first eating it. You know, the poppy seed muffins and stuff?
Yeah.
It's not poppy seed that's making it look speckly, it's insect parts making it look speckly. This doesn't look aesthetically nice. People need to work on recipes.
I also asked my work colleague, Meryl, if she would try the cookies.
I have a very strong fear of roaches that translates into a semi-fear of crickets. It appears as though Leo has added an actual cricket as sprinkles.
A garnish.
Mukbang. Honestly, it's good. And I called it once it was in my mouth. I'm like, okay, it's a cookie. It's good. It's a little lighter. I don't know if that's the right description, but because the cookie looks like a nice kind of moist cookie, but it's sort of fluffy. Honestly, pretty great.
Does this change how you feel about eating insects?
I can't eat a whole insect, but it changes how I feel about the ingredients for sure. And I don't know if I would feel that way before trying the cookie with the flour.
Everyone who ate the cookies told me they tasted more or less like regular cookies. But I wasn't satisfied. What's the point of eating insects if you can't even tell that you're eating insects? I recalled my childhood years in South Korea, when I used to get silkworm pupae or bandegi from street stalls. I decided to recreate my memories. I went to the nearest H Mart and got some canned silkworm pupae, some green onions, hot peppers, and garlic, and threw them together. But a little bit of history first. Silkworm pupae became widely eaten in South Korea during the 1960s, when the government invested heavily into sericulture or silk farming in an effort to achieve economic development. The government planted 1.3 billion mulberry trees to provide feed for silkworms between 1962 and 1971, resulting in a tenfold increase in silk production by 1976, with silk exports responsible for 10% of the total export revenue that year. So it's fair to say that, without silkworms and their contributions to the Korean economy, BTS and K-pop demon hunters probably wouldn't be a thing today. After turning off the heat, I was left with a bowl of hot silkworm pupae. It's a little sweet, savory, salty. I was too busy eating to say more, but the flavor is hard to describe. In addition to being sweet, salty, and savory, I think you could say that it's rich, herbal, and earthy. According to my girlfriend, though, they smell like wet, rotting leaves. My girlfriend was repelled by the smell, and it took some liquid courage and the promise of a new mercy skin to get her to try the silkworm pupae. 1, 2, 3.
Ugh.
Suffice to say, my girlfriend didn't enjoy the silkworm pupae, though I liked it very much. If you can accept the smell and the texture, you have a really nice protein-rich snack to go with your soju. Climate change is one of the factors that have put insect abundance and biodiversity in global decline. At the same time, insects can provide sustainability solutions. The production of insect protein produces much fewer carbon emissions than do conventional livestock. And already, farmed insects are being used to feed farmed fish like salmon and trout, which have traditionally relied on wild-caught small fish. And farmed insects are slowly making their way into our diet, one adventurous eater at a time. To conclude, I want to propose that, to save insects, maybe we should consider eating insects.